Welcome to Cosplay Spotlight. I'm your host, Captain Kyle. Today we are going out to the Midwest, little state called Kansas and a little town called Smallville. And here we have someone who's actually a bit of an immigrant, a bit of a refugee, someone named Kara Zor-El.
Hello.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
So you are from another planet.
That's right.
And you seem to have some abilities beyond what normal humans have?
Yes.
Any relation to the Smallville Blur
Oh, he's my cousin.
He's your cousin, okay. Could you tell us his identity? I was hoping for an exclusive
He's a little
scoop.
stuck up about it, but I'm not going to reveal it.
So you are from the planet Krypton. What was life there like?
Seeing how things are here, I would describe it to you as a very advanced society. We had incredible technology, science, education, beautiful world and wildlife.
Wow, interesting. So this is where you grew up, and the Blur grew up there with you? Did you, hang out, pull each other's hair?
No, he left when he was a young child. I lived most of my life there.
So you have a greater grasp of what Krypton was like. Coming to Earth, are you finding a new life here? Are you joining society? Are you enjoying your time on Earth?
It's obviously a new experience. I have found some very interesting people. Animals are wonderful, of course, but it's not somewhere I'm keen on staying very long.
Your goal would be to go into a more advanced society?
That's right.
Are there any around?
There are other planets in the system. Getting there is the issue, being on this planet.
There's no Megabus, no Amtrak?
Your technology isn't quite there yet.
Sorry. Well, I suppose if you had a time machine, you could go to the future, but...
I'm sure the future would be a wonderful place to go.
Well, how long do Kryptonians live?
Much longer than the human lifespan. I would say you have about 10% of our lifespan.
Ooh. So I suppose if you just wait, eventually we'll catch up to where... Fill your time. Breaking Bad, binge watch that. That's a good one.
People keep telling me about that.
There's a show called Smallville. You should check that out. Number of things on Netflix. Netflix is a good technology. So since you can't travel to the future right now, what would you do in the meantime to kind of, join society, blend in? Would you, get into journalism?
What do you mean by blend in?
Kind of become part of society, so...
No offense, but I've lived my whole life on an entirely different planet, a very advanced planet. I'm not in a hurry to live as a different species on a somewhat primitive planet, as I said.
I understand, but still check out Netflix. It will...
I will be sure to.
They are not sponsoring this episode, but I wish they would one day. Speaking of taking your own path, I understand you've recently moved into the Luther Mansion.
Yes.
How's that going?
It's going great. He is one of the humans that I mentioned who is very intelligent and just a delight to be around. I don't feel the same with him as I do all the other people. He is very unique and has been very kind to me.
How did your cousin feel about your...
He's not very happy with it. He has tried to convince me to leave many times. He tries to tell me all these horror stories about when they used to be friends, but just because we're related doesn't mean I'm going to do what he tells me. I'm forging my own path and making my own decisions, and I'm happy.
All right, well, thank you so much for joining us on the show, giving us a glimpse of life, how it's much better elsewhere.
Thank you for inviting me.
And we are going to go to a break, and we will be right back. Thanks so much.
Cosplay is about costumes.
but it's also about so much more. There's a whole culture to explore. Need a guide? Check out my book, Elements of Cosplay, The Costume and Beyond. Available on Amazon.com. Follow the link in the description below. And as always, have fun and cosplay on. Welcome back. Now I have a cosplayer here who plays this Smallville version of Kara Zor-El. Would you introduce yourself kindly to our audience?
Hi everyone, I'm May, also known as Maeden Cosplay.
Well, thank you for joining us on the show, May.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. So how long have you been a cosplayer?
I would say about 4 years.
And why the Smallville version? I know a lot of people do Supergirl cosplays, but I don't see a lot of representation of the Smallville version.
Well, it's my favorite show ever, and my favorite version of Supergirl, and I think it's underrepresented. So I like being able to represent it and keep it alive. I have 4 or 5 Smallville versions. I have at least 10 or 12 different Supergirls from comics, animation.
Would that include the TV version, the current one that's on the CW?
No, I've been asked by many people when or if I'm doing that version, and that is not in the plans anytime soon.
Why not? Do you like the show? Do you not like the show?
I just don't feel it represents who the character of Kara Zor-El is and how she should be represented. I was excited when it came out, but it has disappointed me, so I don't want to represent it. It's like they wanted a Superman show and they couldn't make it about him, so they took her and assumed they could give her the same traits and story arcs, and they're recycling a lot.
So how do you put these outfits together?
I like modifying to make it look as accurate as possible. Like the jacket, I got a lengthier jacket, hemmed it myself. But most of this is just finding pieces that looked like what she wore.
So what do you do when you're not cosplaying?
I work for a website called Fandom Spotlight.
I've heard of that somewhere. What do you do for them?
I do camera work, directing, editing, photography, proofreading, the website, some social media, etc.
So not much. Okay,
Yeah,
awesome.
not much. I'm kind of lazy.
All right, well, thank you so much, May, for coming on the show. And we will see you next time. Thanks for watching. And as always, have fun and cosplay on.
Cosplay War! Thank you for watching this video. And stay tuned for more exciting installments. And don't forget to subscribe.